So here we are, 6 movies into the series. Has the series still got what it takes? Or has making a good MI movie become impossible? I'm looking kind of rough. In the spirit of Mission Impossible. That's better. Mission Impossible Fallout. Mission Impossible Fallout is the latest in the series of the Mission Impossible franchise, and the sequel to Rogue Nation. Per usual, it follows Ethan Hunt and his team of IMF agents as they attempt to thwart the evil plans of a supervillain hell-bent on doing the world wrong. I'm not really going to go far into Fallout's story here, because it's what you expect from a Mission Impossible movie at this point. Intrigue, action, lots of twists and turns, and of course, Tom Cruise running. But just because it's what you expect doesn't mean it's not good. Oh, on the contrary, it's not just good, it's fucking awesome. This has to be by far the best Mission Impossible movie in the series so far. And not only is it a great Mission Impossible movie, it's just a great action movie. This is one of the best action movies I've seen in quite a while. It's extremely lean. There's no downtime and no time to get bored. The movie moves at a fast clip, and you gotta pay attention to keep up. Everybody here is in top form, including Cruise. And most of all, the action is in top form. The action in this movie is on point. It's filmed beautifully. You can see everything that's going on. There's none of that shaky cam shit. As far as I can tell, it looks like they used a whole lot of practical effects, so it all looks real. Probably because it is, with digital special effects just there to enhance what's going on screen. The movie also includes some subplots that tie the other movies together. That's one thing about the Mission Impossible movies up to this point. They've been great standalone projects, but if you put them together, they don't really have anything that connects them besides the characters themselves. Each one stands on its own, which is good because it means you don't have to go back and watch a ton of movies prior to this to enjoy it. However, it can make them seem a bit disjointed at times. Well, in this one, while the story itself is fresh and new, there are some characters brought in and some past subplots that are resolved in this one, such as Ethan's marriage subplot from a few movies back, and also the return of a villain from one of the previous movies that just really ties it all together nicely. It gives the series a nice connective tissue between the movies. In my opinion, this is the most engaging story out of all the Mission Impossible up to this point. There's spy stuff, there's intrigue, there's twists and turns, but at the same time, it's done in such a way that it's never confusing or hard to understand. You may not always know exactly what's going on at that moment, but it always ties it all together and you get it in the end. And none of it is boring. As soon as you start to think, okay, here's that part where things are going to start to take a dip and get boring, the movie ramps up out of nowhere and kicks into high gear. This movie is a thrill ride from beginning to end. Everything about it is superbly done. The directing, the action, the acting. They are acting their asses off here, and it shows on screen. The way in which they unravel the story to the viewer is also done very well. You never find anything out before the characters do. You find things out as they do and have the same revelations that they do at that exact moment. There is one plot twist in the movie that is telegraphed a little early, but I don't really think that was sloppy storytelling. That was just a way of letting us have a little bit more information than the characters on screen. But beyond that little bit of information, there's not much that we know that the characters don't. And that makes it much more impactful when something happens to them, because we're pretty much feeling exactly what they are at that moment. Now let's talk about the action. The action in this movie is amazing. I've always been a fan of the Mission Impossible movies. Part 1 was okay. Part 2 was a pretty big disappointment. But ever since Part 3, when J.J. Abrams took over, this series has really just been soaring to new heights. And Fallout continues that tradition. The action in this movie is intense and brutal, and there's legitimate stakes in every interaction, which make you, the viewer, care more about what's going on screen. It's not just cool action for cool action's sake. You want these characters to succeed, and you worry about their well-being as it's all going down. And the action itself is pretty fucking cool. All in all, the Mission Impossible series is becoming very consistent in its quality. And Fallout is definitely that high mark in the series. Each one of these movies that comes out is better than the last, and I always wonder how will they top the next one. But each time they continue to do it. So hey, if it's gonna follow in the footsteps of this one, I'm game for a 7th entry at this point. If they continue at this rate, I'm okay with seeing Tom Cruise at 75 running across the tops of trains, jumping out of airplanes to save the world. So yeah, I gotta say, the Mission Impossible Fallout is definitely worth a buy. Go out and get it, you won't be disappointed. So there it is, guys, my review of Mission Impossible Fallout. The impossibly awesome 6th entry into a series. I don't know how they can keep this up. If you enjoyed this review and want more content like it, hit that subscribe button. It helps my little channel grow. If you liked what I had to say, give me a thumbs up. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Come on, regardless if you like the series or not, that song though, it gets you every time. Man, I always look really weird after doing that.